In your interview, you'll be asked question about how do you make this service sustainable. Once you've talked about how would you implement the change, you may have identified the need through service mapping. You may have gone through the PDSA cycle and SMART objectives. Now is the time to demonstrate that you won't just stop there. You'll make sure that the service is monitored, and above all, it is not one-man show. Even if you move away, the service is not going to collapse. And to make the service sustainable, you need to work collaboratively with the service managers and the ops team. That early engagement will help early decision making. It will help you understand the system pressures, the pressure on backflow, pressure on backblocking, staffing, target capacity, and of course, finances. It will help you understand the shared goals between clinical and the managerial team. So both of you are reading from the same page. There is no conflict, there is no discord of thoughts. And that regular communication will help maintain the transparency, which will demonstrate to the panel that you can work beyond your department, beyond your clinical excellence, and think about the patient interest and the bigger picture. Show to the panel that you will use your data-driven approach. You will incorporate governance, and you will think about the measurable impact, the KPIs, the matrices. Once you have identified the problem using the measurable baseline data, you will know the KPIs, the measurable matrices relevant to your specialty. And then you will monitor outcome regularly to identify what's working, what's not working, where the tweaks are required. And you do that by regular meeting, audits, governance, identifying mistakes, any errors that has happened, or have your own dashboards. The PDSA cycle is very important, and you need to demonstrate that you understand the principle. You don't need to know all details about the PDSA cycle and the whole, as long as you understand the principles and demonstrate to the panel. Some of the key KPIs that you could include, which are relevant to most specialties, are bed flow, reach times, waiting time, number of referrals, and flow. And finally, you need to talk about how would you embed the change that has been introduced so that it is sustainable. So sustainability of the service requires you understanding of what is missing, working with the managers and the wider team. And finally, all of that will embed the change that you have introduced. A change is sustainable when it becomes part of routine working. You must demonstrate early engagement with stakeholders, key players, managers. You need to talk about SOPs, the guidelines that you need to write. And not only that, you need to demonstrate that you will make sure people know where the guidelines are. It might require education sessions, it might require drop-in sessions, grand round meetings, or tea trolleys that you do where you visit the key areas where the service is going to be used mostly, so that key players, people who are affected, know what the change is, how to implement it, what are the steps, and what needs to be done, and who is the person to contact should things go wrong. Ensure that you encourage feedback so you can adapt or tweak the system if required. Create succession planning. So if you move away for whatever reasons, so there is someone who is aware of whole process and the system will not collapse. Your goal is not just implementing the service, but make sure it continues to run independent of the people who initiated the change. When you do it this way, your answer becomes a magnet. Your answer scores highly because now it's showing senior level thinking. You're talking about leadership, collaborative working, communicating with the team. You've included governance, and you have included governance in the process itself. And finally, you have demonstrated the pressure on the system as well as a mindset that's thinking about not just short-term fix, but a long-term development. And that's the difference between a candidate who is appointable to one that gets appointed.